What if I told you that one of the biggest threats to the heart health of our parents and grandparents could be hiding in their own medicine cabinet? For the past several months, I have been investigating a very serious question. Is it possible that some of the most common medications taken every day by millions of people over 60 are actually causing silent harm? I found out that some pills, even the ones you can buy without a prescription or get from your doctor for things like pain, reflux, or diabetes, have a hidden side most people never hear about. They can, slowly, and without anyone realizing it, weaken the heart muscle, dangerously increase blood pressure, or trigger irregular heart rhythms. The real danger is that their side effects are often mistaken for the normal aches and pains of aging. And that has to change. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 7 most concerning pills for the heart health of older adults. My goal isn't to scare you, but to give you the knowledge you need to protect yourself and your family. If you are over 60, or if you care for someone who is, this information is critical. And stay until the end, because pill number 1 is, by far, the most common and the most risky. It's important to say that I am not a doctor, and I am not asking you to change or stop any treatment. My only goal is to give you verified information so you can ask your doctor the right questions. With that said, let's get started with pill number 7. Non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. These are very common. In fact, you might already have a bottle at home. They're often used to ease headaches, back pain, or the daily aches and stiffness that come with arthritis. Things many people deal with as they get older. They are effective for pain, and that's why they're so popular. But here is the hidden danger I uncovered. Especially for people over 60, NSAIDs can cause your body to retain fluid and at the same time raise your blood pressure. Imagine you're asking your heart to work overtime every single day without a break. For a heart that has already lived for several decades, that constant extra strain can be the final straw, potentially triggering serious problems like heart failure or arrhythmias. Taking one pill for a specific pain is one thing, but relying on them day after day for chronic pain without supervision is where my research shows the real risk begins. That's why my recommendation is clear. If you use these medications regularly, it's essential to talk to your doctor. Ask if it's safe for your heart, and if there are friendlier alternatives for managing long-term pain. So always remember this: pain relief should never come at the cost of your heart's health. Now, let's move on to pill number 6, which targets a condition that affects millions. Certain diabetes medications. This section is crucial if you or someone you know is managing type 2 diabetes. In my research, I found a specific class of medications that, while effective at controlling blood sugar, deserve a second look because of their heart risks. I'm talking about thiazolidone and ediones. It's a complicated name, I know. A common example is pioglitazone. Their goal is a good one, to help you keep your blood sugar under control. But the problem I identified is how they achieve this and the side effect it produces. These drugs can cause your body to retain more fluid than normal, almost like a sponge. All that extra fluid in your circulatory system puts immense pressure on your heart, forcing it to pump much harder to do its job. Over time, this can weaken it and lead to a very serious condition called congestive heart failure. And this is the most troubling part of my findings. The symptoms of this problem, like fatigue or shortness of breath when walking, can easily be confused with symptoms of diabetes itself or simply with getting older. The medication can be masking the damage it's causing. Therefore, the advice that comes from my research is this: if you are taking this type of medication and you notice any new swelling in your legs or ankles, or if you feel more tired than usual, do not ignore it. Talk to your doctor. Ask them directly about the risk to your heart and if a safer alternative is available for you. Managing your diabetes is absolutely vital, but it should never come at the expense of your heart's health. Now, pill number 5 tackles an issue that robs countless older adults of their peace: sleeplessness. I'm talking about sleeping pills, specifically the class known as sedative hypnotics. Names like zolpidem, or even older drugs like diazepam, all promise a restful night. And while they can work in the short term, my research uncovered serious consequences for the heart with long-term use. These medications don't just calm your mind, they slow down your entire nervous system. That includes your heart rate and your breathing. This slowing effect can cause, or even worse, aggravate a condition called sleep apnea, where you briefly stop breathing during the night. Each of those pauses causes a drop in oxygen that puts the heart under extreme stress, increasing the risk of dangerous arrhythmias. Furthermore, their sedative effect dramatically increases the risk of falls and confusion, especially at night. I understand that the need for sleep is real and can feel desperate, but long-term dependence on these drugs is a solution that can create a much bigger problem for your heart and your brain. The good news is that many safer strategies exist to improve sleep quality. From sleep hygiene practices to behavioral therapies, talk to your doctor or healthcare provider. Ask them about how to reduce your reliance on these pills and explore safer alternatives. Good night's rest is vital, but it shouldn't put your heart at risk. Up next is pill number 4, a mood medication that some doctors are still prescribing. I'm talking about tricyclic antidepressants. Drugs like amitriptyline or nortriptyline are used for depression, anxiety, or sometimes for chronic pain. They were a breakthrough in their time, but today we know they carry significant heart risks, especially for people over 60. The main problem I identified is that they can directly interfere with the heart's electrical system, the very system that controls every beat. This interference can cause dangerous changes in heart rhythm, unstable blood pressure, or even a serious condition called a heart block. They are particularly risky if you already have a slow heart rate. Furthermore, they often cause dizziness and lightheadedness, which skyrockets the risk of dangerous falls in older adults. The most important thing you need to know is this: today, there are much newer and safer classes of antidepressants available, with far fewer risks to the heart. So why are tricyclics still prescribed? Sometimes it's out of habit or because of their low cost. If you are taking one of these drugs and you feel dizzy, fatigued, or have heart flutters, don't just brush it off as part of aging. Talk to your doctor. Ask if a more modern and safer antidepressant could be a better option for you. Your mental health is incredibly important, and it should be treated with the safest medication possible. Now for the top 3. Coming in at number 3 is a pill that millions of people buy over the counter, assuming it's completely safe. I'm talking about decongestants, specifically ingredients like pseudoephedrine and phenylephrine. They are found in countless products for colds, the flu, and allergies. They are very effective at relieving a stuffy nose or sinus pressure, but how they do it is what poses a risk to the heart. These drugs work by narrowing the blood vessels in your nose to reduce swelling. The problem is, they don't just act in your nose, they narrow blood vessels throughout your entire body. This includes the arteries that supply blood to your heart. As a result, your blood pressure rises and your heart is forced to pump much harder to push blood through those narrower pathways. For an older adult, especially someone with pre-existing high blood pressure, this extra strain can be dangerous, can trigger palpitations, anxiety, or that jittery feeling that isn't just an annoyance. It's your cardiovascular system sending a warning signal. The key message here is that over-the-counter does not mean risk-free, especially as we age. The way your body processes medication at 65 is very different from how it did at 35. Before taking any cold or allergy product, turn the box around. Read the ingredients. Most importantly, if you have high blood pressure or any kind of heart condition, talk to your doctor or pharmacist first. There are safer ways to get relief from congestion without putting your heart on the line. We're getting close to the end. Pill number 2 is hiding in the medicine cabinets of millions who suffer from a very common digestive issue. It's one of the most prescribed and sold medications in the world. I'm talking about proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs. Names like omeprazole or pantoprazole are incredibly common for treating acid reflux and heartburn. Millions of people rely on these pills daily, believing they are completely harmless. But my research based on recent studies reveals a growing concern about their long-term use. PPIs work by drastically reducing the acid in your stomach. This relieves heartburn, but that acid is also essential for something else, absorbing vital nutrients from your food. The most important one for your heart is magnesium. Long-term use of PPIs can lead to low magnesium levels, and magnesium is like the spark plug for the heart. It helps maintain a stable heartbeat. Without enough magnesium, you can experience arrhythmias, fatigue, and even muscle weakness. Furthermore, disrupting your stomach acid can disturb the balance of your gut microbiome, contributing to chronic inflammation in the body, which is directly linked to heart disease. If you have been taking PPIs for more than a few weeks, it is time to have a conversation with your doctor. These medications were designed for short-term relief. If you suffer from persistent heartburn, the goal should be to find the root cause, not just silence the alarm with a pill indefinitely. Your long-term heart health must always be the priority. Don't sacrifice it for short-term comfort. And now, for the number 1 pill on my list. This is the one I consider the most dangerous of all, because its side effects are so easy to overlook. I'm talking about calcium channel blockers. These are powerful and widely prescribed medications for high blood pressure or chest pain. Names like verapamil and diltiazem are examples of older types in this class. They're effective, there's no doubt. They work by relaxing blood vessels, which lowers blood pressure, but their power is also their risk. In an older adult whose heart may not be as strong as it once was, these drugs can slow the heart rate down too much. This can lead to a dangerously low pulse, causing severe dizziness, fainting, and a very high risk of falls. Over time, they can also cause swelling in the legs and shortness of breath. But here's the real problem I found. All too often, these symptoms are not attributed to the pill. They are blamed on age. A patient feels tired, and they're told it's normal. Their ankles swell, and it's assumed to be poor circulation. The real culprit, the medication, goes unquestioned. I need to be extremely clear on this point. Never, under any circumstances, stop taking a heart medication on your own. Doing so can be incredibly dangerous. Instead, the advice from my research is this: become the best observer of your own health. If you are taking a calcium channel blocker and experience fatigue, swelling, or a slow pulse, write it down. And at your next appointment, ask your doctor directly, is this the safest, most modern medication for my condition, or are there newer options with fewer risks for someone my age? Your doctor is your ally, but you need to bring them the right information. I've gone through these 7 classes of medication together. If you're taking any of them, I know this information can be unsettling. But I want you to leave with this final message. The goal of my research was never to cause fear. It was to turn on a light. It was to give you the knowledge to have more informed, more in-depth conversations with your healthcare team. Too many people suffer from the side effects of their medication in silence, thinking it's just a part of getting older. Today, you've learned that's not always the case. The most important step you can take isn't to panic or to change anything on your own. It's to take this information, write down your symptoms and your questions, and bring them to your next doctor's appointment. If you found this research helpful, please consider sharing this video. Pass it along to a friend, your father, your mother, or anyone over 60 in your life. This information has the potential to improve quality of life and even to save one. Your health journey doesn't stop here. I've handpicked another video for you that I think you'll find just as important. You can click on it right now on the screen, and to make sure you don't miss future research, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for joining me today. Stay informed, stay proactive, and take good care.